Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Now, before I keep on forgetting and trying to tell you guys, I will be having a stream on, I may believe, Wednesday. That will be having my stream. So it's going to be more like an anime, talk to you guys, kind of get a little bit more about me, because obviously that's the best thing that I can do right now until, later I get a bigger audience to where we actually get things together and have fun rather than have to have, stupid stuff. I am a gamer. I hope you guys are at least some time of gamers. And hopefully, just hopefully, we can play a few games with each other without having to do cancer and, stop the divide. Have us all to come together as we should, because at the end of the day, that's the main part of this channel. Now, here we are with the Hunter Biden situation. It seems that he's been talking to Hunter Biden a lot in terms of his VP dad, associating with him on business calls a dozen times. What I mean by this is, ladies and gentlemen, is this right here. Hunter Biden put then VP dad Joe on the phone with business associates at least 24 times. Ex-partner Devin Archer to testify. Hunter Biden would dial in his father, then Vice President Joe Biden, on speakerphone into meetings with his overseas business partners, according to testimony expected before Congress this week from Devin Archer, the first son's former best friend. Archer, 48, who is facing jail for his role in a $60 million bond fraud, is scheduled to testify to the House Oversight Committee about meetings he witnessed that were attended by Joe Biden either in person or via speakerphone when Hunter would call his father and introduce him to foreign business partners or prospective investors. We are looking forward very much to hearing from Devin Archer and about all the times he was witnessed Joe Biden meeting with Hunter Biden's overseas business partners when he was vice president, including a speaker's phone, said Representative James Comer to committee chairman. One such meeting was in Dubai late in the evening of Friday, December 4th, 2015. After a board meeting of the Ukrainian energy company Burisma, which was paying Hunter $83,000 a month as a director, Archer was also a director, is expected to testify that after the dinner with the Burisma board at the Burj Al Arab Hotel, I apologize if I butchered that, my friends, and Hunter traveled 6 miles north to the Four Seasons Resort Dubai at Jumeirah Beach to have a drink with one of Hunter's friends. While they were sitting outside at the bar, I'm going to just say Vadim, because I don't know how to pronounce the last name at all. A senior Burisma executive phoned to ask where they were because Burisma's owner, Mykola, I'm going to assume Zelensky, but I don't know, needed to speak to Hunter urgently. Can you ring your dad? Soon afterward, the two Ukrainians joined Hunter and Archer at the Four Seasons bar and, what is that? I don't even know. Fajeski? Okay. Ask Hunter. Okay, I apologize, guys. I do not know how to pronounce Russian names whatsoever. I am terrible at this. I am better at pronouncing Japanese names than I am pronouncing out Russian names. So I apologize if I butcher them at all. Heads up. Can you ring your dad? At the time, it was early afternoon Friday in Washington, D.C. Hunter then called his father, put him on speaker, placed the phone on the table, and introduced the Ukrainians to Joe Biden by name as Nikolai and Vadim. He also said words to the effect that the Burisma bigwigs need our support. VP Biden greeted the Ukrainians but spoke only in vague pleasantries during the short call. And in other such interactions with Hunter's overseas business partners, Archer is expected to testify. Congressional investigators are expected to probe the season for Zelensky, requesting the urgent phone call with Joe Biden. They will note the context, that 3 days after the speakerphone call, the then vice president, who was the Obama administration's point man for Ukraine, was due to fly to Kiev to address the Ukrainian parliament, known as the Rada, on December 9, 2015, about the poison of cronyism, corruption, and kleptocracy. 10 weeks before the call, on September 24th, 2015, U.S. Ambassador Jeffrey Pyatt had given a speech about corruption in Odessa in which he targeted Zelensky by name. By then, Ukrainian Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin was investigating Burisma for corruption, and within 2 months, on February 2nd, 2016, which seized 4 houses in Kiev, 2 plots of land, and Rolls-Royce belonging to Zelensky, who was living in exile in Dubai. A month later, Shokin was fired after Joe Biden threatened to withhold $1 billion in U.S. aid to Ukraine. I looked at them and said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor is not fired, you're not getting the money. Biden would brag to the Council on Foreign Relations, well, son of a bitch, he got fired. As Shokin's probe gathered speed at the end of 2015, Pojecki ratcheted up the pressure on Hunter Biden. Emails on Hunter's laptop show. In an email to Hunter and Archer on November 2nd, 2015, 1 month before the speakerphone, Pojecki explicitly demanded that they use their influence to close down the criminal investigation against Burisma. Well then, Archer is also expected to detail other speakerphone meetings in his testimony, including a dinner at a restaurant in Paris where Hunter whipped out his phone and put his father on speaker to impress prospective investors. Said he's got to party trick. Hunter performed the same trick party as many as 24 times in Archer's presence. The Long Island-born father of 3 is expected to tell congressional investigations under oath. Another former business partner, Tony Brolinsky, recalls Hunter offering to get his father on the phone during a meeting by the pool at the Chatu Marmot in L.A. I'm also aware of the other Biden family of business associates confirming that Joe would take phone calls from Hunter in the middle of business meetings and would weigh in via spokesperson, says Brolinsky. Sitting with Hunter at Chatu Marmot before I first met Joe Biden on May 2nd, 2015, Hunter was adamant that his father takes his calls at any time, no matter what his lawyers say, or with gatekeepers like former Biden spokesman Kate Bedingfield playing interference. The American people don't fully appreciate yet the key role to Joe Biden in the family global influence peddling. I would equate to a chairman's role in a traditional business structure. Brolinsky met with Joe Biden twice in LA. In 2017, he to be vetted as CEO of a joint venture. Hunter and his uncle, Jim Biden, were planning with Chinese energy company CEFC, which would end up netting them millions of dollars for no discernible product or service. Both meetings at the Beverly Hilton were in May 2017, 4 months after Joe left office as VP. Archer refused to comment yesterday, but a close associate said he is testifying because he believes in his civic duty. He has nothing to hide, no revenge to enact, nor anyone to protect other than his family, and he feels he has been handcuffed by the absurdly bogus fraud case into remaining silent. In a forum where he has immunity, he can at least start to speak truth. Since news broke that Archer would testify before the Republican-controlled committee, his family has been receiving death threats and warnings to keep your mouth shut. During about 1/4 of the speaker's phone calls witnessed by Archer, Hunter would introduce his father to foreigners with whom he was transacting business. But at other times, he would just speak to Joe without acknowledging that other people were listening in, so it's not clear how often VP Biden was aware that he was being used as leverage by his son. Hunter told CBS News in 2021 that he spoke to his father every night. Archer, this is the D.C. Business Center. Archer is also expected to testify about 2 dinners Hunter organized for his VP father to meet business partners from Ukraine, Russia, and Kazakhstan in a private room at Georgetown restaurant Cafe Milano, one in April 2015 and another in early 2016. Burisma executive Peresky attended the first dinner on April 16, 2015, along with Russian billionaire Yelena Petrina and her husband, former Moscow mayor Yuri Lutkov. The next day, Hunter received an email from Pojecki to thank him for introducing him to his father. Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. Pojecki wrote, it's really sick and honor and pleasure. Joe Biden repeatedly has said he knew nothing about his son's Hunter overseas business dealings. A bombshell FBI document released last week by Senator Chuck Grassley described an allegation that Slovitsky told an FBI informant in 2016 that he had paid a $10 million bribe to Joe and Hunter Biden to ensure Ukraine Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin was fired. Zelensky also allegedly claimed to have two recordings of conversations that included Joe Biden and another 15 recordings involving Hunter, as well as many text messages and 2 documents that the informant understood to be wire transfer statements, bank records that record payments to the Bidens were made, presumably in exchange for Shockey's firing. In the FBI document, known as an FD-1023, Zelensky is quoted calling Biden the big guy. After expected to testify, the big guy was a nickname used by Hunter's business partners to refer to his father. Bobulinski also says Joe Biden is the big guy. In a notorious 2017 email to Hunter and Bobulinski, their business partner James Giller outlined percentage equity breakdowns of a joint venture with Chinese from CFC with 10 held by H for the big guy. The identity of the big guy also formed a part of the grand jury investigation in Wilmington delved into Hunter's business dealings. So, yeah, that's pretty, we all kind of, already knew this, but, these people, he's also fights of corruption and major bad issues. And then we have one final nail in the coffin here. Michigan charges 16 in false elector scheme to overturn Trump's 2020 loss. So, again, they're going after, more Republican people now, Meshawn Maddock, a former co-chair of the Michigan Republican Party, is facing charges related to the 2020 election. So more of these people are actually targeting Republicans again. So there you have it. The Democrats are going after their political opponents in criminal cases. Again, third world type of stuff. And I don't know what else to tell you, but this is horrible in every way possible. And the fact that you're going to go after your opponents politically because, you're part of the communist regime is insanity. We're winning, guys. We're taking W's, but we have to stand firm because what the Democrats are doing is that Republicans' freedoms are going to be void, especially if another Democratic Democratic president is elected, because we'll see all of our freedoms be erased before our very eyes. And I promise you that. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.